Welcome to Revlog, where Aaron is battling a headache today. We're grateful you're here. And where Bryan is thinking about becoming a Beatles evangelist. Is that right?
This is what has given Aaron his headache, I think.
All you need is love. Love is
you
all
need
you
is
need.
love.
It's been a long and winding road
Oh,
to
wow.
to
I want y'all to
today's
notice.
meeting.
I have a
look
cup
at-
today.
look at you.
Look at this. You see this?
You do. So you can sip a beverage as well.
I can sip a beverage as well.
You at home can
I like
sip
your
along
branding.
with us.
I do like
You
the
like that?
branding. Yeah.
See? Y'all always bring other brands in. I'm going to be our First Baptist brand ambassador.
Good.
Well done.
Good.
Right there. Yeah. So this week we have finished all 10 of the commandments, and now we're moving into the New Testament. We've got 2 weeks in the New Testament, 1 week on the first and second greatest commandment, and then 1 week on the Great Commission.
Yeah.
So this week we are moving to Jesus being questioned about the greatest commandment, and he gives his one and his two. Love your Lord your God with all your heart, your soul, and mind.
Mhm.
Love your neighbors yourself. So, Bryan,
Yeah.
let's. What were your thoughts here?
This is
on
the
this
this is the
command?
11th commandment.
The 11th commandment.
We're doing the 12 commandments this summer. I
Your
don't know.
seminary degrees from
Sorry.
where?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Where is your seminary degree from?
It who must not be named. That is the seminary. No, I got it in the mail. But anyway,
Oh man.
true, it didn't exist when I got a seminary degree. That's how long ago it was. Anyway, I am so fascinated by the scripture. And I must say, I have been profoundly influenced by Dallas Willard's thinking on
Okay.
on this passage. He does some writing. Willard does that does a masterful job at highlighting these dimensions of the human person: heart, soul, mind, and neighbor, and also strength. The Matthew passage
Right.
leaves that out, but Luke and Mark
Right.
say
Right.
heart, soul, mind, strength, and then neighbor is yourself. And these are actual things. It's not just these are not just synonyms for each other. The heart is the center of our being, what we think of as our self,
Right.
And heart, will, and spirit, those are kind of interchangeable. But the heart, and then the soul is the totality of a person. It could be understood like that. And then mind, of course, are thoughts and feelings that we have, and then our strength could be analogous to our physical presence in the world, our bodies and possessions, and then neighbors, ourselves, and our social context is very important here.
Absolutely. Yeah, one of the things that I've struggled with, or at least thought through in recent days, is how can I be obedient to Christ, to love God with my mind and my thoughts? And what does that mean, to love God in my thought, where my desires, my daydreams,
That's
my
right. Wow.
imagination, when I'm in the car driving, as my mind drifts, does it drift towards the Lord?
Yeah.
And how can I be obedient to God in that way? To when I lay my head down on the pillow at night, and thoughts come flooding in, am I chasing after the Lord or chasing after something else? And I'm not doing very well at it, but I'm trying. Right? I'm trying to be obedient to the Lord in that way, and capturing those thoughts and handing them over to the Lord and
Well,
letting it be about Him.
That is so important. We think of loving the Lord with all your mind often in our line of work, I guess, as studying and so forth.
Right.
But what you're saying is it's way beyond that.
Yeah.
I mean, we study things, but we also, from an academic standpoint, but we also study things all around us, and
Right.
we think thoughts, and what do we do with feelings
Right.
when we have them?
Yeah.
Well, and you're right. That's a good word, Brian, because maybe I personally take the academic thing, just for granted, because we do that in our work,
Sure,
right? So
right.
academically, in that kind of thought, I mean, I've got that covered. I have to do that every day,
Right.
right? But
Right.
the other side in my thought, sometimes I chase after other things other than the Lord, and I need to be obedient to Christ here.
I think a Jeremiah passage telling you that you meditate on the word day and night. That don't let it depart from your lips. That
Right.
that it's constantly.
That's right.
That's an antidote to the wander. Is
Exactly,
that you go to the word and you meditate on it.
That's
Yeah,
right.
amen.
I think in this Matthew thing, I love that we've been studying the 10 Commandments to prepare us for this command or this comment from Jesus. First of all, it's being asked in a sense to trap him, which was very common of
Right.
the discourse with Jesus, is how can we pin him to the wall here?
Right.
How's he going to get around this? Okay, tell us what the greatest one is. And he says, similar to what we've been saying, is when you look at the first commandment given to Moses, it's that you will, God is God. There is no other. That's going to set the context. How we relate to God is going to set the context for everything else we do.
That's right.
And then, and then the second tablet, if you will, is how we treat others. And so Jesus is really summarizing beautifully these, saying, the Lord your God is everything.
That's right.
How you love him, how you serve him, it will determine everything else that flows from that.
Yes, and may I add one more
Yeah,
thing
absolutely.
along those lines? These different, heart, soul, mind, strength, and social context, neighbor, and so they impact and influence each other. They inform each other.
Absolutely.
They're not just separate little silos.
Right.
And so the heart is first and ought to be that control center as it is regenerated by God. Ought to dictate what follows after that. The mind and the social context and the body and so forth. And I think we have to pay attention to how these things, how is my body impacting what I think, and how I treat people impacting how my mind is, and so forth.
Absolutely. Well, we'll keep going, Brian. What questions came out of this text for you this week?
First of all, can I trace, two questions. Can I trace the connection between these various dimensions? Can I see how my spirit is affecting my mind, is affecting my body, is affecting my neighborhood? And second, can I point to instances of love in any of these dimensions? How would I know?
Yeah.
Right.
That really goes to my question is, all to Jesus I surrender, all to him I
That's right.
freely give. I surrender all. Do we? And when you look at that with all your heart, with all your mind, with all your soul, and all your mind, I always get them in the wrong order. Always get them in the wrong order.
It's okay. I mess up the 10 Commandments all the time.
Fair enough.
I think, what is it? All your heart, soul, mind.
Yes,
Right?
heart, soul,
soul, mind.
So are we doing that? Chances are we're not. And then, but it's that daily progression of getting more like Jesus every day.
Right.
So, I didn't do so well on this today, God, but tomorrow I want to be more like you, and asking ourselves every day, what of those of heart, soul, and mind do I need to surrender again?
I love that.
Again and again.
Yeah, that's perfect. We value your opinion. Help us answer these questions in the comments below.